Hello, welcome to Get Your Mind On. I'm Lori Stohs. Well, it's that time of year for vacations, and obviously you can tell I have a little bit of a tan, and I'm pretty relaxed because I myself took a one-week vacation just a week or so ago. So what does that word vacation mean to you? Does it get you excited? You can't wait to go? But then all of a sudden you get this feeling like, oh my gosh, I got to get all this stuff ready. I got to make sure everything's taken care of at the house. I got to make sure everything's taken care of at the office. I have to pack everything and get everything ready. So there's a little bit of that stress that comes along with a vacation. But of course we know when we plan a vacation, the goal is to have fun, to get away, to vacate, to shut your mind off, right? We talked about that a few weeks ago, and to really just think about how can you disconnect from your day-to-day. So we all do that in different ways. So I'm going to talk today a little bit about vacate and communicate, because I think it's really important to have expectations, not just of yourself, but of others, when you think about what vacation is going to mean. So the first thing in terms of communication is communicating to yourself, stepping back and saying personally, what does this mean to me? Now you may be going with lots of people, family, friends, but first you have to say, what are my expectations? Am I going to be connected? And am I going to be disconnected? What are my expectations? How am I going to act? How am I going to respond? Do I want to be planned? Do I not want to be planned? What does that look like? Sometimes we have something in mind for vacation and then it doesn't at all turn out the way we want. So I think it's important to step back and just kind of set an intention for what you personally would like it to be. Number two is communicate to your team. So in your work environment, if you manage or lead people and work with your peers, you really have to talk about what does that mean for you to be on vacation. So some of us like to totally disconnect. And I think that's great for managers and leaders to set that modeling of behavior, that when you're away, you want people to be okay to be away. So we as leaders sometimes feel like, oh, we got to stay connected because we're important and valued, which we all are. But if we are always connected when we're on vacation, when our employees sometimes go, they feel like they need to be too. So it is nice to model behavior of knowing that it's okay when you go on vacation to be disconnected. So whether you now may be the type of person that says, you know what, the family's sleeping and I really want to spend the first half an hour to check email, so when I come back from vacation I don't have 500 emails in my inbox. That's okay. You yourself know what it means for you to connect. And so I think it's, or disconnect, either way. I think it's important just to communicate to your team, I'm going to be totally disconnecting. I only want to be contacted for these types of things, if an emergency, and this is how I'd like to be connected. So I think it's good for some of us to say we're not even going to look at email, because some of us start and then we keep going and then our head gets in it and then we can't get out of it. So it might be good just to say, hey, if you have an emergency, which could be this, this, or this, send me a text. I'm going to have my phone with me, but I'm not going to check email. So be very clear to your team and team members kind of the guidelines and expectations. You know, some of them may think, well, you're always on email, so then they have an expectation that you are going to respond. So part of that is just setting expectations and being clear about that communication when you're gone. The third area of communication is communicate with your family or friends or whoever you're with on vacation. I think it's critical to have a dialogue. That sometimes we're very different when we're with people. Some of us like to have everything planned out from sunrise to sunset. Some of us are normally planned out in our days at work, but when we go on vacation, we totally disconnect and don't want to plan. We want to do what we want when we want. Maybe we know, okay, we kind of want to do these things or be in this area for this day, but I don't have to have a plan. I had one family who had a spreadsheet that had it calculated down to the minute of exactly what they were going to do because they wanted to get the most out of every minute. Totally fine. But if you were one that was opposite of that, that might not make your vacation enjoyable. So I think it's really important to communicate with your family. You all live together, but again, vacation is different. It's should be disconnecting, but just to make sure the experience is the best that it can be for everyone, to really go around and, even when we talked about setting those intentions with yourself, really doing that as a family or with your friends or whoever you're with, just to make sure everybody has a great experience. You know, we think back to vacation. I really want you to think about what can you do this summer or the next vacation that you have. So for a positive charge this week, think about number one is, what does vacation mean to you? Is it something that's planned or unplanned? Number two, Do you set an intention? If not, if you're going on vacation for the next one, set an intention. And 3 is, what's your communication plan for your peers, your direct reports, and of course the people you're going to be vacationing with. So again, vacation is something we need. We all need to disconnect. We all need to recharge, whether it's 2 days or a week. You know, it was great for me. This is the first time ever that I didn't stay up till 3 in the morning before I left. And I was able to disconnect most of the time. I only worked a few hours, which for me that was big. Made some decisions that I wasn't going to start my day with a meeting because I knew it would shift my mindset. So really think about what vacation means to you. Take some time to recharge, re-energize, and most of all, communicate. Thank you for joining us today, and remember to get your mind on.